I'm getting ready to punch a hole in this for the first part of making the tool for the Allis Chalmers tractor to get it split. The stand's already made, but now I'm making the tool for the actual tractor portion of it to get it split back. And it's kind of tricky because I gotta get the C channel to ride just right inside of here, which it doesn't look like it's going to, so I'm gonna have to spin it around and punch it from this side. And now we have us one giant hole. So this will bolt onto the floor jack instead of the plate now. Then I'll build my bracket off of this, make it a little safer. So this is what I've got mocked up so far. I've got a piece of angle there, punched some holes and notched it so it'll bolt up there. Got some more angle going down, took a piece of C channel and punched a hole in it for the bolt for the jack to go in. That way it's fixed to the jack, so I can literally get this thing set and then I can grab the tires themselves and roll this back and don't have to worry about falling off the jack. So that'll make it a lot easier.
What are we doing? What do you need?
Wait, that
What's that? Spin it out. Push the tires back.
just a little. You don't want to keep the bottom part, you just want to get it start coming apart. I left the top bolts in it just in case it did want to do something stupid and it's just going to pinch back against itself.
You're pretty good gapped over here, Bubba.
Make sure there's nothing. The linkage is unhooked, it just slides back. You want to run the floor jack?
What do you want to do? Pull it back or? You need it up or what?
Jack it up some. So, lower it down just a touch. But no, just leave it right where it's at. Stand away from it when you do it and take that bolt out. I just seen the front drop down on the stand. I'm gonna actually pry it apart and walk it apart with a pry bar. You need to jack it up,
in? You good?
Yeah, go up a little bit. Above. Jack it up.
More?
Yep.
They win.
Hang on. It's too high in the. Let it.
You ready?
Yep. Hang on. Go ahead and let it down just a little bit. Hang on. We're gonna have to let it seep down a little bit. Got an idea.
You ready?
Yeah, but we gotta get that jack to roll. Hang on.
You want me to pull the jack again?
A little bit. Let's make sure all of our linkages and stuff are sliding. Everything that should be sliding is sliding. Feel line up. Is that throttle linkage out of the way?
Yeah, it's good sliding.
Let's you pull on that jack a little bit, and I'll roll it back. Ready?
Yep.
That'll work. I didn't clean my surface for where my floor jack was going to be, so I was trying to keep the floor jack moving with the tractor. So I took a ratchet strap and hooked it here in the front and hooked it to the tractor itself, so it kept tension on it, so it would roll with the tractor while I was getting it split apart. But it's apart, and look, my T-stand's working just fine. I'm making a little mess here, but see, it's sturdy as could be. And we found some issues with the clutch. That's definitely a good reason why it wasn't working too well. Here's the old bearing. I got it out. This is what I used. It's the small snap-on slide hammer puller. But I had video of me actually getting it out, but unfortunately the radio was playing in the background, and per copyright issues with YouTube, I don't want to use that part of the footage because the country music playing in the background. So they didn't send us a clutch alignment tool with this, but I got a universal one. But it doesn't quite fit for the pilot bearing. So what I'm gonna have to do is sand this down with the belt sander until I get it small enough to fit in here. So I'll do that real quick and then show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like now that I've got it all sanded down. It fits quite snug, but it'll get a little looser once the piece cools off. I've already had it slid in now there a couple times, but that's all I did was make it a little smaller, a little shinier. Now that I got the old bearing out, I want to see how well it fit on the input shaft, because I want to make sure that this is all smooth and clean so it slides easy on here. I want it to be snug but easy. And this one doesn't actually want to go on at all, and it's the original one. So I'm going to go grab the new one and see how it fits, and I may have to take some Scotch-Brite or emery cloth and try cleaning this up, or take the deburr tool around the edges if it's got any sharp points so this slides like it should. always check this before you put it back together, just so you know it's how it should be. So this is what I'm going to use. It's just some emery cloth, and I don't want to take a whole lot away, and you just want to go a little bit at a time, so you make sure you just get what you need to off, not too much. You can always keep going, but you can't really put it back too well, so just do a little bit, and then we'll try sizing up the new bearing. It's still pretty tight, but it does slide on there quite a ways compared to the old one. Idea isn't going to work out. It doesn't slide through the input shaft. Well, for anybody that's ever done a clutch before, you slide your tool through the input, where the input shaft would go, and the smaller part has to go on the backside for your pilot bearing. Well, with this one here, it's just not going to work. So I took one for an old Ford, which it goes in here and it actually fits perfect on this side of it, which works out well for me because I need this to be just a fuzz smaller. So I trimmed it down the belt sander till it was just small enough to fit the pilot bearing. So now I can use this as my new clutch tool for this, since the universal one doesn't work either. So I just got the clutch all torqued down to 50 foot-pounds in an even distribution. I've checked my clearances and everything. You'll see the pictures for all the specs and clearances in the next clip here. But now we're ready to pull the clutch alignment tool out and ready to slide it back together. Got the new throwout bearing on there. So we're good to go once we get this together now. So in that time lapse, you've seen we got to this point right here. I'm gonna do the rest of this off camera because it's hard to keep the phone in a good spot where you guys can watch it and all that. But how we were pulling it together was this ratchet strap right here. I've worked on a lot of stuff by myself over the years, and I found easier ways of doing stuff by myself. I do have an extra set of hands, but it's always good to have a third set. So we're not pulling and tugging on these tires. We are maneuvering it side to side with the tires. I'll have him push one way and I'll push the other, or pull the other, to get it to rotate side to side. But we use this to keep tension on it and keep pulling it forward. And it's a lot less struggle on us because one of us can stay up there and watch everything while the other one is ratcheting on this like a winch. But I'll show you the rest once we get it the rest of the way together. This is where I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, and we'll have a part 3 out tomorrow of getting the rest of the tractor all buttoned up. But we got the clutch out and back in, so that's some good progress. And got our jack tool, and I used a ratchet strap here to keep it stable while we were rolling it back, so it grabs the jack and takes it with the rear of the tractor. But then we used a ratchet strap on the front to pull it together. Worked out really good. Like I said, we'll get a third video out tomorrow because we gotta get this buttoned up and finished tomorrow.